I'm here with an update. This is the first update video I've actually made since the why I stopped making travel videos video all that time ago. And because I made that video and I was basically telling you guys why I stopped, some of the feelings I was having, some of the personal stuff I was going through. I think I owe you an update now, basically now that I am making travel videos again, and now that I guess, you know, in some ways things feel a little bit more back on track. I'm here right now, if you're wondering where on earth I am. This is Romania, and all around here you can see the Carpathians, which is an area of Romania of about 250,000 hectares, which is one of the most biodiverse places in all of Europe. It's actually one of the last remaining true wildernesses in Europe. We drove here from Bucharest. It's like a 3-hour drive from Bucharest to the mountains, 2-hour drive up into the mountains, and we about a 45-minute, 1-hour hike to get to where I am now. So it really is the middle of nature, and this is actually home to, I think it's one of the most dense, if not the most dense population of grizzly bears in the world. So also this place is home to wolves, it's home to lynx, all kinds of deer, owls, a huge variety of bird species, plant species, and the organization, the foundation that's working here is also going to reintroduce a couple of species next year, which is bison and beavers. So amazing, amazing place to be. And I'll tell you about the reason why I'm here a bit later on. But so where do I start? To really quickly recap on that last video, I basically told you guys that I went through a rough period personally. I had quite a few panic attacks, was feeling very anxious in general. This then kind of led to another thing, or that got led to by something else, and basically just stopped making travel videos. Wasn't really enthused by the idea, and it was just a big time of kind of reflection on like what's important to me basically. And it was a kind of a rough time, and I know that a lot of people go through this, and a lot of people on YouTube have actually spoken out about mental health in the recent years, which I think is a very positive thing, especially with the whole kind of social media kind of highlight reel manipulation that goes on. I think it's really nice that a lot of people are being honest about the reality and how they're feeling, etc. So yeah, I went through that stuff, and you know, I think I owe you this update video because I am feeling better, like really. And it's kind of amazing to say that, to be honest. And I know it's never like, oh, magic pill, now I'm better forever. It's just like, it's been a long time now where I haven't had those feelings. Literally since before that video, I haven't had a panic attack, haven't had any like really bad anxiety. You go through the odd day here and there, but like nothing bad. And I feel much more on track with what I'm doing. And yeah, it's nice. I'm in a good place. I'm in Romania. What can I complain about? And before we get on to talking about why I'm here, basically I think it would just be useful if I just share kind of what worked for me, basically. Like, I may as well, right? It's just like having a conversation with a friend. I've had a couple of conversations with friends where, you know, you talk about mental stuff, and you kind of share what's working for you, they share what's working for them. It doesn't even have to be about like mental health. Like, mental health is kind of a weird term. Like, sometimes I just think it's about like going through a rough period and you talk to a friend like what's going on, and they might give you some advice or whatever. So I figured that, you know, why not share this kind of stuff with all of you guys, and maybe any of you who are going through something bad can take what you want to take out of it. First thing I did basically was go to therapy, and that was probably like the cornerstone of everything. I went to this therapist, and it was just so important to be able to talk to somebody about, like, you know, talk to a professional, tell them all of your like deepest, darkest, horrible stuff, and for them to say, you know, it's kind of normal. Heard that before. A lot of people have that, and it's kind of like normalizing, you know. You don't feel like you're the only one on the planet, which is like, I don't know, to me that was like step number one. Step number two, like not step number two, but reason number two about why that was important. It's just like being able to share everything with somebody is just, rather than having so much shit bouncing around in your own head, share it with somebody, and it becomes so, like, it's like taking the pressure out, you let the steam out, and it's like you can deflate a little bit, and whoa, relaxing. So that was really important. Second thing was physical activity, and specifically something my therapist recommended me, which was boxing. I don't know if this is going to be appropriate to everyone. This is just what worked for me. But yeah, I went to boxing. I was doing it for like 9 months, and it massively helped reduce my kind of like baseline level of anxiety. It was really like an amazing effect, to be honest, and I really attribute it to boxing. I would go like 2-3 times a week, and it was really important that each session, like, choose a boxing club where the sessions end in sparring. So like every single session, doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to fight people at the end. It's a bit out there for a lot of people, but I think my therapist told me that like the important thing was to confront people, like physical confrontation, and like in this way kind of standing up for yourself, like physically, as well as this kind of like catharsis of like this kind of aggressive energy that's been letting out of your body, massively just reduces your baseline anxiety level. And it really did work for me like a lot. So that was kind of like, within a month, 2 months of like the worst time, kind of got me out of that. And then I was kind of like, I could see a bit more clearly. And now kind of going a bit more, not just talking about anxiety and stuff, but going a bit more towards like the creative side of things, and like why I'm basically back making stuff again, is a lot of it was I realized that I needed to put more of myself into YouTube, basically. Like, I was having this mental battle between like, travel videos is really only one part of who I am, and I'm really just doing that, and it felt like I had to make a choice between like travel videos or like all this other stuff that I was interested in that I kind of wanted to do. And it was really this kind of conflict. And that was when I started putting out more and more, like I started putting out music on my YouTube channel, started putting out sustainability videos on my YouTube channel. Those videos like have not done well at all. And I don't actually know if that's my channel just like slowly dying, or if it's just my audience just don't have an interest in it. Both of which I guess are fair enough, because I didn't make videos for like a year. But basically, the fact that I'm putting those two other things, like my big interests, out on YouTube, I now feel it's like a lot more kind of like coherent in like what I'm going towards. Like my energy feels like it's kind of one place, and in one place basically. So like if I can do a project that is to do with filmmaking and sustainability, amazing. Another project that's to do with filmmaking and music, or music and travel, amazing. Or like just a travel video, but more about a kind of a deep cultural experience, like in Uganda, which I'll get to in a second, then that feels really, really good to me. So that was a key point in like getting back on being creative. And the other thing was the fact that I just realized like I'm a social person. And again, I'm just talking for myself. This might be completely different for you. I'm sure a lot of people out there actually need to have more time with themselves. But what was happening in my situation is that if I'm a YouTube guy, run my own business, that's kind of like remote, like it's a work from anywhere kind of business, then man, like it's a dream. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing. It's literally amazing. The problem is that you spend tons of time alone if you're not careful, and that's what was happening to me. Not just with that, but like I was thinking like I'm not inclined to go out and make a video by myself, and I realized that the more time I spend with other creative people and work either on the same project as them, or like work on your own projects but in a kind of collaborative way, man, you're going to be flying creatively, and you're going to be making some of the best stuff you've ever made, and just more inspired. Like you can talk about your creative blocks or whatever to other creative people who are going through the same thing. You can talk about creative ideas. Like you can kind of get used to like making the same type of video or music or whatever, but as soon as you get another person in, that style kind of broadens, and suddenly you get engaged in that thing again, and because it's changing and it's morphing. So that was the other thing that kind of got me back on track. So I guess that kind of leads us to why I'm here in Romania. The reason why I'm here is because I'm working with two guys who are up there. You might be able to hear one of them in the background, who's making a ton of personalized videos for his members. Two guys who run an organization called Mossy Earth. And I mentioned them in the other video. I work with them to plant trees for my members of the Travel Video Academy. So what we do is they'll go and work with the huge organization that runs the Carpathian Mountains, and they will basically help them, give them funds to plant more trees to rewild this whole area. And the reason why this area needs more trees is because if you look behind me, I'm not sure how much you can see here, but all these brown patches shouldn't be brown. They should be green forest. And the reason why they're brown is because they've all been illegally logged. And I'll play some clips now so you guys can see the impact of this just in this small area that we've been in, let alone the rest of the mountains. But about 10, 20 years ago specifically, this place got devastated by illegal logging, and they destroyed tons of these amazing animals' habitat, and also, you know, the wider effects of deforestation in terms of less carbon absorption, rising global temperatures. It's obviously not a good thing. So this amazing organization here has allowed, has employed about up to 60 rangers, I think it is, to monitor these areas, to stop illegal logging, and also people who plant trees, people who help reintroduce species, biologists, conservationists, and it's an amazing team that are working to make this place back to its original state, back to this amazing wilderness that it once was, and to some extent still is. So that's why I'm here. I'm making a film, I'm making a video about the kind of nature here, my experience here. I'm also helping these guys make a video for their own stuff because I really support what they're doing. And it's really amazing to be working on a creative project that is to do with something I'm very passionate about, which is sustainability. To be actively, you know, being here, literally like feeling the effects of the logging, which is quite hard hitting, to be honest, when you're here. And also feeling the enthusiasm and the amazing positive effect of the planting that's going on is something amazing for me, and it's something I'm going to keep in my mind when I'm working on my own stuff, whether that's the academy that I run on my videos or whatever. The only thing I'm missing is a little guitar so I can record a couple of covers here as well. That would be the ultimate, right? So yeah, that's the update video, guys. I hope some of those things in there helped you if you're going through or went through something similar. Uganda episode number 1 is coming out on the 22nd of November on Thursday. Thursday, 22nd of November. Keep an eye out for that because it's, man, I'm so excited to release this series to you guys. It was such a blast being in Uganda for 2 weeks with all the team. Big shout out to all those guys, and I just can't wait to release this content to you. It's been a year and a half since I made a proper travel series, and I really hope this shows some of the development that's been going on in that year and a half, and I can't wait for you to see it. So, all right guys, keep filming. Have a great day. Bye-bye.